Ladies and gentlemen, this is a Skoda Octavia from the year 2006 with 102 horsepower. It is an estate and I have a very special take on it. It might be, in my opinion, the best budget family car. One important thing to note, the owner of the car who actually lent it to me very kindly doesn't want to show his number plates. That's why there's gaffer tape on the front and at the back. And yeah, I think let's start with a review. You could buy this car right now for around 2.5 to 3,000 euros. This particular example has now 166,000 kilometers on the clock. As you can see, this car is painted in this very plain under radar silver, which I think it looks nice, with those 6-spoke monoblock wheels. And as I already stated in the intro of this video, I actually think this might be the best budget family car that you can buy right now. A very important thing of a family car is the boot, and this is what we are checking out right now. If we open the boot now, or trunk if you're American, you can see this very big ample amount of space. You have this little shelf right here which you can slide back, and now you can see this much space. You can honestly fit so much in there. I could basically move in this car and live in it for 2, 3 or 4 months because it's actually so big. It is insane. You also have xenon lights on the car, which is actually very good for its time. Another fun thing to note is actually that this car still has its original rocker panel PPF from its delivery back in 2006 on it. And as you can see, yeah, it is, a little bit faded over the time. But what can you imagine? It is like 19 years old. Another thing I also want to talk about is the engine. As I already told you in the intro of this video, this car has a 1.6 liter 102 horsepower petrol engine in it. And what can I say? This engine runs absolutely beautiful. You can also find this engine, because it's a VW derived engine, in the VW Passat of the year 2006 to 2003. So 2003, 4, 5 and 6. And this engine runs beautifully. I also already filmed a few POV videos with it, where I've actually driven for 180 kilometers per hour. So for you Americans out there, around 110 miles per hour on the restricted German Autobahn, and it is actually really nice. Alright, I think that was enough talking about the exterior of the car, because the interior of the car is actually fully loaded as well. We are now in the interior of the Skoda Octavia, and as I already told you in the intro, this car has 166,502 kilometers on the clock. This car is equipped with a 6-speed automatic transmission, and it is pretty much loaded in the interior because, well, you have here all the window switches. Yes, the light switch is a little bit, for the main light, is a little bit roughed up, but you have the big infotainment system. You have climate control, automatic climate control. You got this sport mode in the transmission. And if you look behind, you have so much space to fit so much stuff in the back that you can actually live out of this car, which is really nice. And as you can see right here, this car has also a leather steering wheel. Yes, this vent is maybe a little bit broken. I don't know what happened there. You have buttons on the steering wheel to control the level of the music, or to switch up the music, or to mute the music. You can do so much in here, and it is actually really good. Really good. Alright, I think that was enough from the front. Let's hop now in the back, because it is equally exciting back there. I am sitting right now in the middle seat in the back row of the Skoda Octavia, and I am about 1.87 meters tall, and so around 6 foot, I would imagine, and I can actually fit quite good in here. And you know, also back here some vents, and you have a little storage cubby, but this is actually really good. But I think we talked now enough about the interior, but I think we also need to go and drive the car, and that's what we are doing now. Alright, we are now actually driving the car, and I have to say, yes, it is an estate car or wagon, and it does feel, you know, the suspension feels very floaty, but it is not a track car, so what would you expect? But the ride is so comfortable, it's actually insane. The transmission is sometimes a little bit weird in the sense of that it sometimes shifts when it doesn't want it to shift, because sometimes way too late or way too early to deliver some power. But I can stop maybe right here, and we can do a little 0 to 60 start. Okay, from stop, I'll put it in sport, and 3, 2, 1, go. 50, 60, 80, 100. Okay. It wasn't actually too bad, but it's, you know, it has only 102 horsepower, so what would you expect? Alright, I'm now on a bit more busy road, and I'm driving right now 100 kilometers per hour to the dot, and it is actually really comfortable in here. You doesn't hear the engine much when you're driving only 100 kilometers per hour, but it does change when you want to drive on the Autobahn a little bit more faster, as I did in a previous video. But yeah, it is actually really nice driving in here. And you know, if I would have the money, I would actually buy myself this Skoda Octavia, because it is actually a really good daily driver, a really good family hauler, and yeah, it's just great. You know, it isn't an eye catcher, but it is still really cool to drive it around, because it is actually very comfortable for very little money, and you get actually quite a lot of luxury for this money, which is, you know, not Bentley level luxury, but some really good features for only 3,000 euros. Yeah, it is actually, I mean, it's actually great. It's really good. The car does actually sit quite good in the corners, even though the suspension is a little bit floaty. You can still drive really, you know, I would say not necessarily fast, but dynamic with it. The right side of the car is also very reasonable and very good, because, well, it isn't modified and you basically can't scrape with it on the ground. But yes, the verdict of this video is I would 100%... Oh, what happened there? I would 100% buy a Skoda Octavia from the year 2006 with this automatic transmission, because I think it actually makes a really good daily driver, and I think you just can't go wrong with it when you buy a good one which doesn't break. you can actually have a really nice car for a very low budget. And yeah, that's basically what the whole video was about. How good of a car this is. And yes, I hope you like this kind of video. If you want to see more, hit the like and subscribe, and I hope I see you at the next one. Alright, peace.